Alright, so today we're going to do a Lorwyn draft, and it seems more fun than doing a Theros Born of the Gods draft since Journey to Nyx is coming out soon. Um, let's see. Don't think there's too much of a choice here. Moldrifter is sweet, and then the next two best cards, in my opinion, are Worn Pilfers and Una's Prowler. Both of them are black, and both of them just aren't quite as good as Moldrifter, anyways. And don't get to cast this card too often, and it's just a lot of value. So we'll take the Mole Drifter. Um, if we're super lucky, we might table this Ethereal Whiskergill, although it's pretty solid. It's pretty much just a 4/3 flying defender. Sometimes attacks if they have islands. Glimmerdust Nap is an okay card. Kind of shuts down tap creatures, okay for sideboards, etc. Alright, so taking our Mole Drifter. Blue is by far the best Lorwyn color anyways. This is exactly where you want to be. I like blue-black fairies a lot. I like kind of green splash blue. It's pretty good. Let's see what we have here. Also, merfolk are fine. So I think our choices are Moonglove Extract, which can kill small creatures. Changing the Berserker is really good, but blue-red is not really a thing unless you're playing blue-red elementals, which is fine. This is probably the best card in the pack, though, so that's worth noting. Squeaking Pie Sneak card is fine. Smoke Braider is great with Berserker and Moldrifter. We'll take Stony Brook Angler, which this card's pretty mediocre. It is blue, it keeps us on track. Like, we definitely play it if we pick it. I think we should take Changeling Berserker, just in case we end up elementals. I think it's a lot stronger than taking one of these other blue cards. And I don't really want Arbiter of Norwich, even though it's fine. Cost 7. Okay, so we're definitely taking a blue card here. Pestromite Sentinels, both excellent. Of those, I think Pestromite's just a better card. So we should just take that. To note, there is another little elemental guy here. Battle One Oak also is really good if you're in the green deck at all. It's just very powerful. Also, Dream Spoiler Witches. So, Blue Black Fairies is my favorite archetype. So maybe we'll end up there. We'll see. Ooh, speaking of Blue Black Fairies, Silvergill Dowser is just the best or second best blue common behind Moldrifter. I'd usually take Moldrifter over it just because drawing cards is sweet, but this card is extremely powerful. Even Changeling is, pretty good. And then here, Kolfner's Plans is an interesting one. You basically have to draw 7 cards, which is sweet. And it's really good if you have things like Aether Snipe to end up bouncing this plans, so you can replay it and draw a bunch more cards. So it's kind of a niche card. It kind of depends how good it is. It's good in blue-black. Most people don't really know how good it is, so it does tend to go late. So if we wield it, it would be interesting. We might be able to play it. Speaking of Aether Snipe, great with Kolfner's Plans if that comes back, but just a good magic card overall. Mirror Harbinger is good, but it only gets a Silvergill Dowser, Changing Berserker if we play it. I'd rather just have a giant creature that bounces things, because 2/3 body for 4 is not actually that impressive. Well, there's only really one good card here, which is the Fairy Harbinger. I guess Wild Ricochet is fine. It's kind of a sweet spell, but definitely going to stay on track. This card's quite good, actually, because 4 mana 2/2 Flying Flash is actually reasonable for the cost. Just getting a Pestromite or, even Changing Berserker if we end up there, it's pretty powerful. And not a whole lot here. Our choices are Kithkin Greatheart, Inkfathom Divers, and Rebellion of the Flamekin. We don't have any clashing yet. This card is really good if you can utilize it. Or Foot Bottom Feast, which is really good with Moldrift or either Snipe and Pestermite, just to return them. I think I'm going to just take the Foot Bottom Feast because that's where I want to be most. I wouldn't really fault anyone for taking these other cards, though. They're all good in different ways, although I think Kithkin Greatheart is the worst choice there. I like having a counterspell in my deck. I'll take that. Kinsbale Balloonist is probably the best card in this pack, just giving other creatures flying when it attacks. So it looks like white is kind of open, but we're heavily blue, which will reward us in pack 2, and then hopefully we can even just cut it pack 2 and get the rewards pack 3, because we've gotten pretty good blue cards this pack. Alright, well, okay, so this did come back. Really good against the other blue decks, obviously, because it can attack. It's obviously, if this can attack, it's very efficient. This card's just fine, and it's a great sideboard card. I'd rather take it than one of the red cards, just because I don't think blue-red's a very good deck, and I don't really want to play against this, and maybe we'll end up playing it just as a fine creature. But certainly an effective sideboard card for the mirror. And I think I'll just take another one. Again, I don't really want this card. So more sideboard cards. This guy's also interesting if you have enough fairies. But then you're in blue-red again. I don't think it's a great deck necessarily. Alright, so we're pretty much mono blue. I'm going to hide these for now, just in hopes that we don't have to play it. Either one. I'm going to take the black card or the mana fixing. I think what I'm going to do is take the mana fix in case we want to splash a bunch of different things, because this isn't great in blue-black fairies anyways. And none of these cards really do anything. I'm going to take Burnt and Forge Tender. So really we want just a bunch of the same kind of things in packs 2 and 3. Although obviously pack 3 would get different cards. Okay. So no insane blue cards for us. We've got Hostility, which is kind of hard to cast, but Giant Monster, which is pretty good. And then if we want to stay on the black plan, which I think are the second best cards, like Hostility is very good. We can take Ghostly Changeling, which is all around quite fine, or Weed Strangle's a removal spell. Of those, I think I'd rather have the Changeling. So do I want Changeling or do I want Hostility? It's interesting. I didn't really see much black pack 1 at all. So I feel like black is probably not that open. But also, I feel like we're going to get good black cards this pack then, because we didn't really pass any good black cards. And I'd rather be in blue-black anyways, and just be mostly blue and splash that, than blue-red. I'm going to take the Ghostly Changeling. I think, based on this set, that's just better. So there's an Oblivion Ring. There's also a Drowner of Secrets, though we really don't have that many merfolk. Although you don't need a ton to make it good. So those are clearly the choices. Oblivion Ring or Drowner. So Oblivion Ring we can splash, but then we have to play a third color. Drowners might not be great in the deck, but it could be very good. and we're probably going to play it no matter what. Because honestly, it could just block. They'll pretty much use a removal spell on it. All sorts of different things. So I think I'm just going to take the Drowner. And we already have 3 Merfolk, so it can't be that bad. Now we have an interesting choice of, do we take random Merfolk? Do we take a Fairy Soldier? I think because we took a Drowner, we take the Changeling here. But I think normally I would take Sentinels. This guy's just a good blocker. And obviously very good with Drowner Secrets. So I think we just want all the Merfolk, Changeling, Wizards that we can get. See, this is interesting. Because Streambed Aquatex is probably the more impacting card versus Harbinger, but Harbinger puts Drowner on top. The thing is, they're both Merfolk. This one is better for the game plan of blocking and delaying the game. So even though this finds Drowner, I think I'm just going to take the overall better card, because we're less all in on Drowner Secrets. Streambed Aquatex is just fantastic. And not much here. Do we have enough goblins to play this card? 1, 2. 2 goblins, huh? It's not a lot of goblins. If we get enough changelings, this card ends up playable. It's also a rogue, which is relevant for pack 3, because you can prowl things. Since there's no other cards for us, I'm just going to take it. Chances are we're not going to play it, but we'll see what happens. This time I will take a random Merfolk Soldier. Really nothing I want here. Guess, do I take a Springleaf Drum? It really doesn't do anything. There's a small chance I might play that. Hide it for now, though. I think Wings of Veilsvale is actually a good magic card. And it is good with Squeaking Pie Sneak. And just everything else. So I will take it over Vivid Marsh. Even though Vivid Lands are quite powerful. Letting you do all sorts of things. Guess we just take another Foot Bottom Feast. Probably not going to play 2, but we'll see. And this card's pretty good. I think on the off chance I end up playing red, I'm going to take the Harbinger here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 11. I don't see myself playing 2 Ink Fathom Divers. And honestly, if they're playing blue, we have better board cards with the Ethereal Whisker Gills that we took pack 1. So I'll take this on the off chance we switch into blue-red. And finding Muldrifter and Aether Sniper is both, both fantastic. This time, I think I will take this in case we get enough changelings. And just a decent blocker overall. Oh wow, the Harbinger came back. Okay, well we're definitely taking that. That's awesome. Just ending up on a Drowner plan of sorts. Probably good that I took it. Also with Foot Bottom Feast, even if it dies, I can just bring it back and keep the mill train going. Basically, as long as it doesn't get Oblivion Ringed. We have a plan. I'm going to hide red for now. Be optimistic. This deck looks fine. It needs a bit of help. Basically, Latchkey Fairies and cheap Prowl guys. Not sure what Merfolk could really help it. Violet Paul, these types of things would be good. Could also just open Mutavault. It's usually a good way to do things. All right. So we didn't open Mutavault, but we did open up Disperse, which is sweet. Spite Bells, which would be great if we were still in the red deck. I mean, we still could just go into this deck. Maybe I should. This is the most powerful card. And I get the other powerful red cards, which honestly are just better than my black cards right now. And this combos really well with the red Changeling. I'm just going to take Spite Bellows and see what happens with that. Basically, Changeling Berserker is really good with Spite Bellows because it leaves play deals 6 damage, and then it can come back. The problem is our black cards are not great. And so while blue-red is kind of a weird deck, it could work. And I have a lot of random elementals, which could do something. And then we get Violet Paul, which is just a great card. So what do we do at this point? Take Violet Paul. If we want to stay red, we can take Warspike Changeling, which also isn't too exciting, although it is good with Drowner. This is basically how much good black are we going to see after this pick. Well, are our black cards better than our red cards if we take Violet Paul? I'm not actually convinced. If we see another Violet Paul, then I think we're in good shape. As it stands, I think I should just take Warspike Changeling. Card's just good. Try to pick up a couple Bannerets. Alright, well there's no Violet Paul this pack, so I can't feel terrible about that. There's not really any cards though. Although this card's kind of unbeatable. Yeah, I don't really want anything here. This card's fine if you have wizards. We have some. Shaman. Rivals Duel looks a lot better than it is, because a lot of things share creature types, and it doesn't work with changelings. I'm going to take Stream of Consciousness here. I think I have enough wizards to make this work. I'll take that. It's also another Merfolk. Yeah, we have a decent number of wizards. Both these are wizards. Alright, let's hide black and white for now. See what this looks like. So basically we just need a lower curve, because our curve is enormous. If we get some Elemental Harbingers, though, that would really help the deck. I guess we'll just raise the curve. I could take a 2-drop, but again, this card is so good, I think I should just take it. It also works as a 3-drop, just a removal spell. Now we have a ton of targets for that. We're probably just going to play these to block, I think. Also, they work with Streambed Aquatex. If I can turn their land into an island and attack for 4. Well, there is a banneret. And a lot of our things on 4 are wizards. So we're definitely taking that and being happy about it, which is great. Really, we just need a couple more of those type of effects, and then our deck's actually very good, because our 4-drops become 3-drops. It's also a wizard, which works with our other guys. So, speaking of wizards, I think we take another stream. At worst, it's going to cycle and just give us a little bit of value and let us survive, which is good. Certainly better than Needle Drop. Too bad I can't make this cost like negative mana, which would be sweet. Alright, speaking of more bannerets, we have another one. It's not quite as good as our elemental banneret would have been, because it can make these things cost less. But it does make Ink Fathom Divers cost less. Also, it doesn't make these cost less, but yeah, you can't have it all. It's also much better with Drowner, so we're probably not going to play one of these Whisker Gills, I think, main, right now. Well, we tabled Disperse, and that was the only card I was considering earlier. So, very glad to have that. This doesn't find a whole lot. It does find my good changelings, though. So I could take one more Banneret. I could take an Ink Dissolver. I think I still just take Banneret. Like, I don't really need to mill them out, and Drowner mills them out all by itself. So I'd rather just have an explosive start. Now this is actually decent. I think we have enough creatures that combo with this to maybe kill something. I'll hide these. I might play Wings, we'll see. Yeah, this deck looks fine. We probably want to play this, because with all these bannerets, it can actually be pretty effective. So let's see. This one's a maybe. Pretty sure I want Broken Ambitions. I'm not positive. I am tapping out a lot more than I usually am with blue decks here. Sage of Fable is also awesome with all our wizards. I think I want both of these. They effectively can serve as removal. Don't know about that one. I think this is probably just a worse version of Stream of Consciousness in our deck. So I think really it's just one of these spells which function as removal. So how many Merfolk do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And if I have a Harbinger in play, I could name Wizard instead if I want. So that's another creature. This can like 13 of a kind, essentially. 12 or 13. And this here is just good later, or not later, but basically when I'm not tapping out. I think Roar the Crowd is going to typically be better in this deck, just because everything's very, very expensive. I don't think I'm going to be able to hold up too much counter magic until about turn 4 or 5. And Broken Ambitions is better on like turn 2, and we're playing stuff on turn 2 for the most part. Could also just play Wings of Velasfail. It's only going to cost 1 because of my bannerets most of the time. Though I'm not sure what I'm doing with it. It's like has with Stream of Consciousness. That's a combo. Play both. Boom. I think what I'll do, I'm going to bring this in against decks that have utility creatures I have to pick off, which is like half the decks in the format, so I could bring it in a lot. But I think I'm going to start the Broken Ambitions, even if it's only good on turns, 4 or 5. I think it still can counter more expensive spells, and I already have 2 Spike Bellows to deal with problem creatures. Ooh, and Disperse Spike Bellows. That is going to be sweet. Okay, so this looks like the deck. How many islands do I need? Probably 11, I would say. This is more of a... Well, I guess I can cast it anywhere, but... Don't necessarily need to cast this on turn 1. In fact, it's not quite even good on turn 1, but we would play it if we need to. So I think 11-6 is good. Kind of want to be able to evoke these sometimes, but it's not even that good because you lose a lot of value. And if I don't draw an island, I actually just can't cast anything. So I think 11 is pretty important here. Alright. Alright, so we're keeping 7 on the draw. Opponent apparently mulling to 5. Just give us some time to set up our Drowner. Even if we miss our 3rd land drop, which hopefully doesn't happen, but... Alright, and it won't. We have Stream of Conscious to set up with Drowner, which is nice. Ooh, that's going to be somewhat of a problem. That's my guess. If he curves out with other rogues. But otherwise, it's not going to be too bad. I think what I want to do is play Sage of Fables. And then next turn, Drowner. Alternatively, I could play Streambed Aquatex. And then Sage of Fables, holding up Stream of Conscious and then Drowner. But I don't like that necessarily. I think we just want to get this out there. And then we can start drawing even more cards. Eventually just play a blocker for this. Okay, so Spike Bellows can kill the next big threat he plays. I think milling him is going to be more effective in the long run. So play this, and it's interesting. Do I attack for 2 or not? Maybe I do. I mean, he has no creatures. I might need to kill him via damage. Alternatively, I could play Streambit Aquatex. And then next turn, if I draw a land, I can take the counter off Drowner, and this also keeps me being aggressive, which it looks like is what I'm doing right now. Yeah, I'm going to do that instead. This also is more important for me to hold up Stream of the Conscious next turn, because right now he has no threats that I really care about. And it ended up happening. So what I'm going to do is just attack with both of these and then play a Drowner. Chances are I'm going to draw a card. It doesn't matter. So we don't know his other color, but we do know he's playing some flyers. So Whiskergill could be good. In fact, I don't really have many flyers, to be honest. I think I'm going to cut a Divers for a Whiskergill just to block. And on the off chance he has... We're on the draw, so Broken Ambitions is worse. I'm just going to put another one in. There's a small chance he's blue, because blue-black. I mean, he played a rogue there. So I think he's either red-black or blue-black, but I think this is going to be a good card either way. I feel like he's going to be blue-black, though. Yeah, red-black. Well, at least I was half right. We do have the combo, though, of Streambred Aquatex and our Ethereal Whiskergill, which is sweet. So if he attacks me, he'll give it Death Touch. Then I can Stream of Conscious, draw a card, and get him. Worst case scenario, he kills my creature, but we still get to draw a card. That's pretty good for us, I would say. So I think we're both going to put that on the bottom. So I don't need to worry about holding that up. Could attack with both. And then I can play a Whiskergill to block. I think that's the best play. We don't really need that guy anyways. I think I just want to attack while I can. And then an Aether Snipe is going to come down next turn after this Mole Drifter, and we'll just pressure him. Well, if that's the best he can do, I'm not too worried. Just rinse repeat what we did last turn. Oh, that's unfortunate. Alright, well I guess we're not attacking anymore with our Whisker Gill. Perma block duty. Apparently he's had enough. Okay. Okay, so here we're gonna mulligan for sure. And his hand is that's fine. We might need to evoke the Moldrifter in a bit, but if that's the case, that's okay. If we get a chance to block, we definitely should. Like if he has the reinforced card, it's kind of bad for us. Alright, so he has a 4-3. But we have ways to interact with that. So we could just tap it down for a turn and hopefully survive from there. That is a pretty good way to interact with it. Alright, so we can just shrink his guys now, and we're in okay shape. Ah, well, never mind. Our guy is toast. We drew Spite Bellows. I think it's way better to play Spite Bellows next turn if we draw a land, so I don't want to evoke it this turn. And we drew Disperse, so also great. I'm gonna attack with the Pestermite, and then I can trade this here and trade this if I want to block. I could also double block the... if I'm gonna double block, I want to trade the Pestermite, so I'm not actually gonna attack this turn, I think. I could also double block a Zephyr if I want. Alright, he's full on Zephyronaut, it seems. Well, can't really attack, because if I do, I can't trade with a Zephyronaut. So I think I just play the Spite Bellows. And, I mean, I could attack with both if he doesn't hit, but I think that's pretty bad. Or if he does not, I think I probably will attack next turn, because if he attacks me with everything, then I can disperse my own guy. And I can even stream of conscious it, so it's not too bad. In fact, I could probably use this on his creatures when they attack, just so I take less damage. But I'd rather just disperse this. Can also use Pestromite to untap the Spite Bellows, so if he tries to attack us, then it'll just 2-for-1 him. So now we just do this. That's unfortunate. And I can't even double block with my Mole Drifter. I think it's probably worth double blocking here, though. It'll force him to use the Mosquito Guard on this. Probably I'd draw something like Aether Snipe to bounce my Spite Bellows and kill his creatures. Otherwise, we're in some trouble. And that doesn't really help us either, but what it does let us do is if he hits a kinship, I can drowner him. Before he hits the second one. I think I just absorb. Man, I don't really have that many flyers. That's the problem with Moldrifter. I think I just gain life while I can. More threats I can't beat. It's unfortunate. Yeah, probably just have to run a runner and he needs to not draw anything, so basically where we're at right now. Alright. I could make him go through the motions, but wouldn't really accomplish anything there. Let's see. So he's just mono white. These are great because I actually just trade with his 2/2 Zephyrnauts. The only problem is he has some reinforce, so they're less good than they would be otherwise. And these are pretty bad. But I think they're still better than nothing, especially if we draw or disperse. If we can somehow double block. But I think flyers are really pretty important against this guy. Okay, well, we'll give this a try and see what happens. Probably just have to draw this guy in conjunction with Spite Bellows one of these times. Would be good. This is also quite good against that kinship chain, so it's kind of nice. Okay, we would like to play first. And while this hand's not excellent, it is very good if we draw a land. This guy's deck's very good. He's about to play Stalwart. Yep. Start milling him. can't actually block if he attacks, unfortunately, because he has reinforce. If I can draw a land, though, I can play Changing Berserker. He's just going to go for it. Okay. See, I think I should just play Changing Berserker and use this. And I can trade with this guy now. And it's still a merfolk, so I can keep milling him. Except now he has Balloonist. But if I draw a land, I can Whisker Gill him. And we did. Excellent. I think I still just block. It gets this out of play permanently, which is really powerful. So as long as this is on the ground, I think I can beat it. See, I think what I need to do. So if I play Mole Drifter, and I can't really block this turn. I think I just need to play Warspike Changeling and take 2 from the order. Additionally, it's a Merfolk, which is going to help. So I can just mill him even faster. And then next time I play Mole Drifter, I draw an island, I can play Stream, which helps. Could also, if he attacks with this, I can just double block and then cast Stream. Save my guy. And the reason, I mean, I can actually probably triple block in case he has some sort of removal spell. Although then I lose to next snap. Okay, so we're just going to take some here. That's not that big a deal. Unless he has multiple Bombardiers. I think this is going to be a close race. Probably going to have to use this as a healing salve this game, I think. He has a lot of Morning Tide cards. It's interesting. Must have tabled a lot, been in the open deck. Well, that really helps. I think I can just attack for 5. This can hold this back, and I can play Whiskergill. If he attacks with Stalwart, I can play around Reinforced by double blocking. Although we already milled a Mosquito Guard. So, not sure how likely it is he has another one. That's pretty scary. Alright, well. We have a pretty decent board position, but so does our opponent. If things go wrong, at least we can hold Disperse up in a turn. I feel like we're pretty far ahead right now. Unless he rips out of it. I've also telegraphed this ridiculously hard, but I've needed to hold it up every turn, so sometimes you have to. So he's got to be thinking about it. I'm just going to play more fatties, I guess. Okay. Well, we drew Spite Bellows. It's pretty good, I would say. Don't really need to kill anything right now, so I'm not going to evoke it. He is successfully navigating around this. Eventually, I think we're going to be in okay shape. Should I attack with my Spite Bellows? Maybe. What does he attack me with? This? And then I get to block with this. Probably should attack. I get to take out a Plover Knights if he blocks, which is good for us. I'm not even going to use this if he does block. I think it's good for us if he blocks, and I think it's also good for us to be attacking here in case he doesn't block to put pressure on him. Also, I doubt he has many giants or wizards in his deck. Seems mostly just to have Kithkin. Well, it does have, I guess, multiple Kithkin Greathearts, so he must have a decent number of giants. Though I have not seen any avian changelings, which would be quite the combo. Okay, so he does block. That's fine. We'll just kill his Plover Knights. I can even start attacking with my Mole Drifter in a bit. So yeah, despite this not being able to attack, it's a pretty effective card against his deck, I think. I think my opponent's name needs to be Tankosaurus because of how much he tanks. Not the best card we've ever drawn, but our things are effectively very cheap. I guess he's more likely to draw a lot of planes because we've milled so many actual cards. Let's see. So if I just cast the Harbinger, what can I get? I get Sage of Fables. Silver Wheel Dowser is great. Streambed Aquatex helps me kill him. I think I just gotta get the Dowser. Another threat that he has to beat. Honestly, I don't think I'm gonna save my Whisker Gill. I think it's better to have a Disperse. Either for his creature or for my creatures. Yeah, he has a lot of these. It's just surprising. Still don't really want to attack, though. We'll just mill him out, I guess. We'll disperse that, I think. I think I get an Aether Snipe, and then I can bounce my Mole Drifter and replay it. Could get Spite Bells as well, but I think it's better to get the Snipes. Draws into more cards. Also, with this in play, I can just attack. Oh, so there is a Changeling. I will cycle this, I think, here, since I'm going to get Silvergill Dowser soon online. Alright, so I think we attack with this guy. And having him double block's not that big a deal. Just getting creature out of play is fine. Soon I can just start alphaing him. I think what I'll do is snipe back our Mole Drifter. I'm going to go ahead and play a land in case I need to play multiple spells next turn. Alright, let's cast this, holding up this mana. Oh, that was excellent. And now, just attack with all these. And I could just shrink both. But I think I'm just going to shrink. Well, let's see. Am I going to use Pestermite any other way? Probably not. So I guess I'll just shrink both of them. I'll just kill him next turn. Alright, so the Harbingers were great that game. The Whisker Gills were very good. Maybe I want Roar the Crowd. It kills... He has like 2/2s I want to deal with. So I probably want that. I think everything else is quite good. Let's see. What is our worst card? Maybe a Banneret, although it lets me power out these faster. Like this, 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 this. Just more 4-drops. But he's also quite fast. I can't really cut the low drops. Should I cut one of these? I mean, it's been excellent, but he knows about it. This is also great to get these. Everything's just good. Fairy Harbinger, I'm not sure how good this card is. But it trades with Avian Changeling. Doesn't really get a whole lot. It gets this. Maybe I should just cut Fairy Harbinger. Maybe having a removal spell for two toughness guys is better. I could see that. Although this is good with the Banneret. And then it gets you Berserker. And then you can do that. And then you get... I don't get anything else after. Well, I get Pestermite. Yeah, no, it's got to be better than Roar. Alright, well, this is awkward. I think this is worse than the Whisker Gills against him. I think getting Drowner is a way I can win. Alright, well, I'm just going to submit then, as much as I want another 4-drop in the deck. This hand's pretty good. Of course, we have to draw lands as usual, but man, this guy's a champ. Draws a 1-drop a lot. Alright, so we need to draw land next turn, I would say. We are in some trouble, I would say. He probably can even attack us because of all his kinship, or because of all his counter stuff, which means I can't really block. Oh, looks like he's going to do that instead. Okay. Which means he can only have the +1/+1 up. If I block, it's pretty bad for me because I lose the Aquatex. But, I mean, he doesn't have a ton of pressure in play other than Zephyrnauts, and we have ways to stop Zephyrnauts because of the streams in our hand. As long as we don't get neck snap out of the game, I would say we're in okay shape. But he clearly doesn't have it because he would have just attacked us with everything. So, and he doesn't have Reinforce in hand because he would have used that. So his hand probably doesn't have a whole lot left, I would say. That's pretty unfortunate. So now we're kind of just screwed. What I can do is cycle my Banneret, or cycle a Stream on his turn, and then I can Pestermite. Yeah, it's definitely not good. Well, I'm going to take the rest because what I can do next turn is Pestermite and Stream. And then I can Harbinge. If I draw a red source next turn, I can start Spite Bellowing him. So he's onto my tricks. So he's playing pretty well. I'll give him that. I do need to make sure I don't just die to this thing, though. So if I Marrow Harbinge, how does that help me? Drowner doesn't actually do that much at this point. Playing Moldrifter is but Harbinging and blocking is pretty good. If I Pestermite, I probably need to block his Zephyr, not next turn, if he ever hits. So I'm just going to play Harbinge and see what I need to get. Oh, I can get, where is it? Silvergill? And I mean, this way, I'll have 2 flying blockers with Moldrifter. It's probably better than putting Silvergill in play, I think. So I have 3 6-drops in hand. I think next turn I can Spite Bellows. I can Spite Bellows and cast Silvergill. So if I double block, he'll reinforce, but then I can just Spite Bellows it. I think that's worth it. It gets all the pressure out. Like, it's going to be a 3 for 2. Alternatively, I could just block with 1. I can't actually beat a Bombardier, though, very easily. So I think this is fine. It's definitely not good for me, but I have so much utility in hand that it's worth it. Alright, and actually we're in good shape now because I can Fairy Harbinge in a little bit, and then what that lets me do is get the Changeling, and then I can use Changeling on Spite Bellows. So I can kill another creature in a bit. And also play Spite Bellows, then I can cast Aether Snipe. So I think that's probably what I'm going to do next. Also, Spite Bellows, and then upkeep Fairy Harbinger, get Changeling, that also works. So there are a few different ways to win this. Also, he's probably going to time out, so we just need to not die, which I think we're doing pretty well at. Sure. So yeah, let's just cast Spite Bellows this turn. And I could attack for 1, but there's no real reason to. Yeah, actually it doesn't hurt. There's not like a haste creature in white, so I might as well. I could Harbinge upkeep, but there's not really a creature I want to kill right now. So I'm not going to. That was a pretty decent draw. I'll just play a War Spike here. That one I definitely want to kill. So I think what I want to do is stop on my turn. Get this guy, draw him. And I might as well attack, right? Because I can even attack with both, because it gets first strike. I think the following turn after attacks, I'll just Aether Snipe back my Changeling Berserker. In case there's more things I have to kill. Swamp. Interesting. Maybe put something like Final Rebels in. I don't know. Like Shriekmaw, maybe? It didn't really matter too much. Okay, so we're on the play, match 3. And I don't like mulliganing, but this is a case where we have to. Well, this hand's very powerful. And I think it has a better chance of winning than a mull 2-5. Because if we draw a single land, we're actually in okay shape. Because of the Dowser. So I'm going to keep. Alright, so keeping it is. And unfortunately we're on the play. In the sense that we have to rip next turn, but such is life. Well, we missed. And we missed again. That's a tough one to beat. But we hit this time. I think Dowser is the one we want the most. That card's not really beatable. I could just pass probably. Could cast this. Or I can cast a Banneret to get more things in play. I feel like I should just wait though. And just play Pestermite. Wow, that's ridiculous. Okay, it's a lot of counters. About to go on his guy. It's 5 counters. What I'll do is now untap my Pestermite. I mean, untap my Dowser. Why did I could have just untapped his guy. Alright, well, don't think it matters all that much. I think I'll just try to hold back the Pestermite in case I can get a chump out of it before he plays an elf spell. Unlikely, but worth trying. Awkward that he cast him in this order. I'm not really sure I'll beat this. I probably need to bring in Roar of the Crowd. And looks like a matchup where, ironically, he's playing blue, so Ethereal Whisker Eagle might be okay. He also has Bowmasters. I guess Bowmaster's not that good against it. He has 3 toughness. He has multiple Hunting Triads. Okay, well, makes blocking really hard. So yeah, we're just dead, actually. I can't beat this. Unless I draw Spite Bellows, I guess. We're about to take 10,000 damage. Well, I guess I'll let the rest through. I might actually just be dead. Yep. That was a good start, I would say, on his part. I think I need this right here. Not in love with the Whisker Gills. And this is probably still fine, since I think I'll probably have islands. I just got the ambitions. Although I am on the play, I think it's good on the play. Maybe cut a stream. Maybe cut a Harbinger. Yeah, I think his creatures are just going to be bigger than mine, so trading with them is less likely. So cutting one of those is okay. Hopefully we'll have a little bit of a better start this time. And, well, this isn't exciting. I'm definitely going to keep it. I don't think I've ever had, like, a 3-lander. I can't remember. Maybe I did earlier this draft, who knows. Anyways, let's see if we can play lands on time against this guy. I think trying to draw a land by turn 3 is reasonable with Moldrifter in hand. Alright. I think trying to hold it's very greedy. So he doesn't have any islands. So I'm not, well, maybe he does. Maybe he's blue, green, splash, black. Something along those lines. Well, I guess I'll just play a Warspike. Don't really want to play Berserker until I can get Spite Bellows online. I'm gonna just gun down his team again, like we did to the last guy. Could mill him, but I think I'd rather get Turtle Shell in play. Later at some point I can play Drowner and a 3-drop in a turn. This picture's just funny. Those little legs crack me up. Alright. So he chooses not to take it, and we will play a turtle shell and hold up mountain. I could hold up island for stream, but I don't really want him to think I have it. So when I have this in play, I should just really always hold up mountain unless I'm planning to use this in a specific turn. So that was it, just telegraphs it for no reason. Let's see. Could just kill that this turn. Just probably worth it. Can Pestermite my mountain floating a red, and then evoke Spite Bellows. Because if he untaps with this, he can start to get out of range. And I don't have a 6th land. If I had a 6th land, I would just play Spite Bellows. But I don't. So I think doing this is better. Chances are he's not going to have a better, like, what if we can get this out of play, hopefully we can just win the game even without our engine. And I mean, we have a lot of pressure in hand. And our opponent seems to be double queuing, unfortunately. Ooh, that's surprising. Looks like you have pretty much anything, but not quite sure what that is. I'm just going to attack with all my creatures. Maybe he has like Violet Paw. If he has Violet Paw, then he can kill my War Spike and block my Pestermite. And I can use Stream of Unconscious. And then... yeah, so I don't actually want to attack with Pestermite. I'm just going to attack with these ones. Because if he plays Violet Paw, I'd rather just get an Aether Snipe in play and then kill his token. It looks like that's what he's holding up. Oh, he can also just be holding up Hunting Triad. But that's also fine because I just Aether Snipe this. So it's just a trade. I'm trading this. I'm trading my War Spike Changeling for his Hunting Triad. Which I'm totally fine with. Apparently everyone's just joining the clan today. I'm an LR clan if you're interested in, but it is just a massive clan, so people join all the time. Alright, so he says no blocks. That's fine with us. I feel like something's about to die. Yep, okay, at least we called it and didn't walk into it with our Pestermite. And now we Aether Snipe him. And then next turn we can Changeling Berserker whatever we feel is best. And attack for a ton of damage. Hmm. Well, we can Changing Berserker our Aether Snipe. And then I think attack with everything. Pessermite's just going to die to the Bowmaster. In all likelihood. If this dies, we get Aether Snipe back, so it slows him down. Yeah, his deck is a little bit deeper than I thought it was from game one. We just spammed elves. So, seems like he just has good cards. But, somewhat shaky mana base, it looks like. Okay, so looks like if I flip this, he's going to kill the Turtle Shell Changeling. So I don't really want to do that. So I'm just going to say okay here. This is fine, because I bounced the Bowmaster. Could have bounced my Pestrommite, but I think that's worse. Because by bouncing the Bowmaster, he has to then play another elf spell. Like, he has to play this, and now he has to play... I guess now he has two hunting triads. Hunting... I don't even know what it's called. Hunting triad? Yeah. That he could play one of those and kill my Pestrommite. Which is pretty good. But then we're just on the Drowner plan. This card is quite good against the blue decks in this format. It's kind of like Bow of Nylea at common. Interesting. So he just doesn't want to die. Which means we're definitely on the Drowner plan. Could attack with Changeling, but let's see. So if he blocks with Bowmaster... Actually, that's fine. If he blocks with Bowmaster, then I can just flip it and trade. I can even flip it and shrink it. Actually, that's what I would do for sure. Does he have a Disperse up? I'd rather just get a Spy Billows in play, I think. He does have a lot of vivid lands, so maybe his mana base is fine. I don't know. I'm not one to judge. Do you like sweet mana bases? I don't really want that. Unfortunately, it doesn't actually have any islands. He could just be using Vivid Creek as a dual land, and he's just Jund. And he put Forest on top of his deck. What does that mean? 2, 3, 4, 8 mana? Oh, I see. He wants me to Drowner his Forest. I just won't do that. I'll just let him draw a Forest. That's fine. So... if we attack with both of these... which would I rather save? I think I want to save my turtle shell, because Spike Bills will just kill the leaf gilder here. And then I can attack for 4. And no elementals left in my deck. Sweet. So he's going to draw a force for the turn. Hopefully he doesn't need it. Then we can mill him. Yeah, this is this is a brew. Well, I'm actually really jealous of all his vivid lands. It's really sweet. Well, if I attack with my turtle shell, he kind of has to block with his tar pitcher, right? So that's good for me. Actually, he can just block with Rage Forger. That's bad for me. So just milling him out is better, I think. Drawing a card seems good. Now he's warped into the Shaman theme deck, it looks like. And definitely put Mountain on bottom. And then Harbinger, Disperse, Dowser. That way I can untap, play the top guy, the Merfolk, into Sage of Fable's counter into Disperse if I needed it. I was just going to mill him out with Drowner. I'm not quite sure why I didn't draw a card, but that's okay. Alright, so his deck's very different than I thought it was. It seems to be just kind of a mid-range value deck. Which in that case, our late game plan becomes much better. I don't really like Broken on the draw. Is there anything... Stream of Conscience actually was fine against him. He had a bunch of little guys. Littler than I thought. The only problem is Hunting Triad. I honestly don't have that many flyers. I'm not sure how good Ink Fathom Divers is if he's not actually playing islands. I think this is fine though. Hopefully we get less than Immaculated Magistrate at this game. Hey. This hand looks pretty good. So I think we want to go turn 2 Banneret, turn 3 Fables into Dowser. And just hope that he doesn't play turn 3 Immaculate Magistrate. Alright, it's not Immaculate Magistrate, thank goodness. Not quite sure what I'm going to want to Harbinge, but I think we're fine trading here, because he can't pump yet. And I've already used my mana efficiently, so I don't really need to do that again. Alright, I think we'll just end up passing. I'm saving this in case he taps out for Magistrate later, which we can't beat. Fertilid. Alright. So I'm going to Harbinge up the 5/3. And then... oh, Harbinger's a 3/3 actually. What I'm going to do is draw 2 cards this turn, and then cast Changing Berserker next turn. Okay. So I can't draw a card off this because it'll die, but I can draw a card here. And these flyers are not helping any. Can draw a card off this. And then I can Berserker my Harbinger. The problem is I can't really attack because of Fertilid. And then he just blocks, sacks, and attacks me for some. But that's not actually that bad because I still have Dowser. I probably should attack. Gets it out of play, and then I can start attacking in a couple turns for more. I can also get Drowner soon and then just win off that. Just put this guy on block duty. Yeah, maybe I should not have attacked. It's probably terrible, actually. Because I don't really need to attack to win this game. But he does. So it's a little bit bad because if he got to attack this turn, if he drew Hunting Triad, I'd be in a lot of trouble. Luckily, it didn't turn out that way, so we were okay. And now it actually makes sense to attack again, ironically. Especially because I have Pestermite and it can untap things. Alright, well, the plan worked out. I still don't think my attack last turn was great, because I'm going for the Drowner plan, but it's okay. Apparently I'm going for the kill him plan. Might even just roar of the crowd him, which would be somewhat unexpected. We're even going to get to draw an extra card off our Sage of Fables this turn, which is sweet. I feel like this creature is like something out of a Zelda game. Like that annoying fairy that follows you around in the N64 one. Guess it was literally a fairy though, so that makes sense. Alright, let's go get ourselves a Drowner. Apologize for my opponents being kind of slow today. I don't know. Usually they, in general, play faster. Not anything I really have control over, though. So let's see. Once I play Drowner, he's basically going to be on outs. Well, okay. His only outs were going to be hitting Violet Paul, but I guess he saw the end in sight. So, thanks for watching our Lorwyn draft. That was a lot of fun, and catch you next time.